Are you bored when sober? When someone smokes weed for years, it often becomes a daily habit. The drive to try new things, change routines, and find new ways to entertain yourself become virtually non existent. Weed puts your life on fast forward, or at least it can seem or feel that way. You become stagnant, lazy, and there's those dreams and goals you once had that just become an afterthought. Not something that you actually act on, but something that would have been nice if that was your life. Weed affects one's dopamine, and dopamine is the driving force for ambition that we have in life. It causes us to become motivated to chase those dreams and those goals. And when you are messing with your dopamine levels, whether that's through weed, pornography, or a copious amount of food, eating in a gluttonous way, you actually excessively boost your dopamine. And as that goes up in excess, it will also come down in excess. And that's where you get these highs emotionally and you get these lows emotionally. It's a roller coaster of an experience. Levels and imbalances in testosterone and estrogen levels are also common. And it can even negatively affect your GI tract and your liver enzymes. This is something that they are now starting to see within the medical industry, that marijuana has some negative effects on our physical health. When we don't feel well physically or mentally, it can really impact the future of our life in a negative way. Things tend to stack. If you feel ill physically and you feel ill mentally, it's going to be really difficult to just get through life in those ways. But then when you also remove the ambition and you start to mess with your dopamine levels and even your hormonal levels such as testosterone or estrogen imbalances, it really can wreak havoc on your relationships, from intimately to family to career-wise. And we don't really do our best in life when we're dissociated, when we have chosen to escape ourselves, because that's really what marijuana is. It's a way to disconnect from ourselves, because more often than not, weed is used to medicate some deeper issue that's going on. Sure, I could tell you all day the things that you need to do or change, but that doesn't help. It's not what you need. I'm not here to be a motivational coach. I'm not here to tell you what you're necessarily doing wrong. But I am here to let you know that if you start to reset these subconscious attachments to weed being a solution in your life overall, you'll start to see the changes for the better. Because let's face it, how much more can you go through your life doing what you've done for the last 5-10 years? If you've already been struggling with being stagnant, lazy, not trying to achieve those dreams and goals, starting that side hustle, getting into the gym, losing weight, getting in shape, quitting the pornography, then what's going to stop you? And here's the danger of messing with your dopamine, especially with marijuana, is as that starts to go up, your dopamine, and you get used to this cycle, eventually it's not enough anymore. It doesn't feel like you're getting high enough. And that's where you'll get people doing doom scrolling. You'll get people watching pornography. You'll get people mindlessly eating in front of the television, watching Netflix hours and hours on end, binging TV series. And when you start doing those things, it's really just your system trying to reach those higher levels of dopamine. and trying to avoid the crash in dopamine. And that can affect us physically. I mean, if you're obese, there are consequences to being obese. I used to be 310 pounds over 12 years ago, and I've kept off 110 pounds at least in the last 12 years. I've gained back maybe 10 in that amount of time. And it was because I chose to, because I just felt a little bit better at the 200 mark. But a lot of people in life don't feel well when they're obese. I had high blood pressure. I had thyroid conditions at that point in time. I had a lot of different things that were going on because my body couldn't handle the burden. When you're smoking, watching pornography, and just living more of a stagnant life, your overall system, especially doing the same things over and over again for years and years, it's completely understandable where depression, anxiety, and other social issues can start to arise. It can affect your relationships. And if you don't start dealing with these things and you keep pushing these things down, eventually your system is going to rebel. It's going to rebel in such a way that it demands to be heard. So if this is something that you are seeing in your life playing out, and that you're ready to actually start working at literally one spot, let's get you off the marijuana. You don't even have to worry about the pornography or these other things. As much as they are beneficial to quit, what you might find is that when you quit one thing in your life, that aspect of your life, especially if it's a predominant theme in your day-to-day life, will have a trickle effect on how you view other things in your life. When you're all of a sudden coming from a sober mind, porn doesn't seem like a great option. Ignoring your partner and doom scrolling on social media, you maybe start to realize that there's consequences to doing that in the long term. Maybe you need to get back into taking them out on dates, to spending more quality time. Or maybe you look at your job and you realize, oh wow, okay, I need to start performing better. I've actually really been slacking and I never noticed it because I was always high. And then you might get promotions. So when you change one thing, when you fix one aspect in your life, it often has a trickle effect to opening up the floodgates to doing a 180 in your life. So if this is something that you relate to and you're ready to change these things, reach out. I'll be more than glad to help you.